What is going on, guys? Thank you very much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 books that are going to allow you to sustain a healthy mindset for the year 2020. But before we get into today's video, if my voice so happens to break, please note that I am on Prednisone because I have a sinus throat infection as well as liquid coming out of my ear. There's some fluid because I just decided to get all sick all of a sudden. So bear with me. Just note that we have everything prepped for you, okay? One of the things we're going to be talking about here in this channel is about sustaining a healthy mindset. I'm not only going to be providing you resources, but I'm also going to give you my personal experiences, what I personally go through, because it's the only way for me to build rapport to you and let you know I'm not perfect, and don't let any other multi-millionaire, millionaire, billionaire think that they have it all figured out. Everybody's fucked up some way or another, and even your content creators and influencers go through some sort of shit. Like, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. But today, because I want you to be selfish and start taking care of you and make sure you hit your 2020 goals, I want to provide you some resources, books primarily, on what you need to do for this year. Now, I'm not going to get into too much in that because this is a little bit more of an overview than an actual me telling you what to do. If anything, just go check out my other video, 5 Unusual High Performance Habits, just to give you a baseline. Just recently, I just did a neuropsychological examination where they tested my executive functioning, working memory, IQ. They tested my mood, personality, because I was experiencing a lot of symptoms regarding depression, anxiety, and ADHD. One of the differential diagnoses was the fact that if I was deemed bipolar or not. As of right now, I still do not have the results to my test, but I say this because I want you to know that I was experiencing certain things in my life where my anxiety levels were through the roof that I wanted to admit myself into a psychiatric hospital. Now, this could be just me having high levels of anxiety, or this could be something else. I don't know yet, but what allowed me to sustain a healthy mindset was these 5 resources. When it comes to my work performance, I have a very hard time remembering stuff. More specifically, if something is relayed to me through audio, meaning someone is telling me something or I have to hear something, it's going to take me about 3 or 4 times for me to be able to pick up whatever that person just said. Not only that, if I am in the zone and I'm constantly being distracted by phone calls or trying to handle multitasking, which I believe multitasking doesn't exist. For some people it is if they have a really good working memory. I unfortunately don't, because I suffer from ADHD. Now, I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 4, and I was very hyperactive as a kid. And one of the biggest takeaways was when I was in reading class, I always fell asleep because it just I could not pay attention. In college, the same thing. I fell asleep through class because I could not pay attention. Not only that, there's a lack of focus where if you don't have my attention, I am not paying, it's just not, there's just nothing going on. I'm just in La La Land. One of the books that allowed me to get through this was Delivered from Distraction: Getting the Most Out of the Life with Attention Deficit Disorder. Now, attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, it is an umbrella of disorders. You could have a combination of visual problems, auditory problems, hyperactivity, inattentiveness, meaning that you just don't pay attention. This has nothing to do with you being deemed intellectually disabled or a retard, but you could be, you could have those problems. It's just the fact that you have a very hard time trying to pay attention to things, and it has nothing to do with how intelligent you are. One of the things that I learned from Delivered from Distraction was for me to understand my capabilities. Self-acceptance is key if you're ADHD. There's no way around it. I need somebody to understand that if you tell me something like, go get the groceries, you can tell me 5 times. I'm not going to remember. Text it to me and I will get it to you. I'm not an idiot. I just need you to text it to me. I don't retain information that well. Also, if I ask you 3, 4 times, I don't care if I frustrate the hell out of you. I'm just trying to get my work done because I have a big problem. Self-acceptance is key for ADHD. And this book really did teach me, I can't get rid of it. I don't wake up one day and say, oh, I love having ADHD. No, it's a fucking problem. But self-acceptance is key. And this book also told me some alternative resources on how to manage anxiety and the depression and ADHD that comes along with it. Not only that, Something that I started taking was fish oil omega-3, because apparently it's going to help improve with memory functioning. So again, there's a lot that I got from this. I'll post a link down in the description. I think I got it for $3 at half price books, but I have an Amazon link for you to get into it if you are ADHD or have symptoms of ADHD, or maybe you just need a resource to help you with your career performance. I highly recommend this one. Now, when it comes to depression and anxiety, I'm going to give you 2 books because they're almost interchangeable. One takes a more spiritual aspect and the other one takes a more cognitive science aspect. The first book I'm going to recommend, and I've recommended this one before, is A Better Way to Think. How positive thoughts can change your life. Now, this is by a certified trauma specialist, H. Norman Wright. I think I got this for about $5.99. I'll post a link down in the description. It's a really good tool to have because although this one's more geared to Christianity and being optimistic, if you're going to be optimistic, it only matters if you have a goal in mind. And understand that you're going to have negatives. Like, this is going to tell you, you're going to have negatives. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That your life is not going to be dog shit some way, somehow. Like, it's going to be dog shit. But if you can find a way to think positive and flip things for the best they can, then now you're going to be able to push forward to the next step of your life. But one of the biggest takeaways that I got from this particular book was this little quote. It says, "You'll also protect your motivation if you give yourself time to change. Nothing kills motivation like impatience." Big takeaway. Things take fucking time. Like, I get so anxious because I am such a now person, and then I realize it's only going to cause me more anxiety if I don't love the process. I have to love the process. And of course, I am human, so I'm always going to think 4 or 5 step moves ahead, and I still can't get over the first step move. You know what? Maybe if I go back to the first step to see how to get to the second step, it's going to work. You got to be patient. It's about self-acceptance and understanding your own capabilities and looking for somebody else to leverage, not in a bad way, but to leverage for your ultimate goals, to be optimistic. Now, the second book I recommend, which is more of a scientific cognitive behavioral approach, is Thriving with Social Anxiety. You would never think of it, but yes, I am an introvert. Although I have the confidence to now speak to you on camera, if you meet me in public, hey, believe me, like, meet me in public, we'll be friends. But I won't be able to hang around a lot of people for long periods of time. You have me for about 2 hours and then I crash. Like, I am just shot. I prefer my alone time. I prefer being able to play my PS4 than interact with people. I don't need other people. But again, overcoming anxiety and building your self-confidence does have to happen with other people. So whenever I need to build my confidence, I do go socialize. And I speak to people regarding shits and giggles. I don't know. It just depends on the situation at hand. This one is really good because it takes a scientific approach using cognitive behavioral therapy. And cognitive behavioral therapy is how your thought process works and how those thought process is affecting or causing you to have a behavioral pattern that's affecting your everyday life. That's what it is. But there is a 5 quick minute strategy that this taught me that whenever I am super anxious, I kind of have to realize, what can I do about it? So let me go ahead and go through that with you. If you are in a very negative thought, and it could be anything, negative thoughts, anxiety, negative thought, anxiety, my mind. Negative thought comes in, my cortisol levels, anxiety comes up, and now I'm freaking out because of whatever the hell just happened. I have to think, what caused me to have this reaction? This just organic reaction. And I'm freaking out. What was it? Okay, how was I before that? I was calm. So what can I do now? I could take a really good 5 minutes and ask myself, what is the worst that can happen? In which case, if I cannot do anything to fix that problem right now, I gotta let it go. I can bitch and complain for 5 minutes. I can fucking scream to the top of my lungs. I cannot do that for any more 5 minutes. And you could do this for as many times as you need to, but you only get 5 minutes to bitch and complain. You only get 5 minutes to understand that if you cannot fix the problem right now, you gotta let it go. And then, of course, if you really can't do that, if you don't have the willpower to be able to let things go, yes, you can take stuff like Xanax, Valium,